To answer your first question, the correct option is Dhira Shankarabharanam. This particular raga in Carnatic music is the equivalent of the Hindustani raga Bilawal. The reason for this is that both scales utilize all natural notes, making them structurally equivalent, much like the major scale in Western music. For the second question, the correct option is A, which states that the Hilton Young Commission's exchange rate was adopted to aid remittances from India and maintain the country's creditworthiness. Historically, setting the rupee at a higher fixed rate was driven by the need of the colonial government to ensure cheap, favorable conditions for sending capital and official payments back to Britain. Moving on to question number 3, the correct answer is C, both 1 and 2, which associates the statements with the emergence of urban life and the transition to a money economy. During this period, which corresponds to the age of the Buddha, around the 6th to 5th century BCE, India saw the emergence of its first metallic currency in the form of punch-marked coins, which, coupled with textual references and archaeological evidence, directly documents the shift from a barter system to a more complex monetized economy. For question number 4, the correct option is B, 2 and 3. This is because the Huchimalligudi temple at Aihole and the Dashavatara temple at Deoghar are early examples featuring the Nagara-style curvilinear shikhara. The other two temples, Malaygiti Shivalaya and Virupaksha, represent the Dravida or southern style of architecture. Moving on to question number 5, the correct response is B, Yaksha. In Jainism, the soul's 4 main forms of existence, or gatis, are Deva, meaning gods or celestial beings, Manushya, representing humans, Tiryaksha, which includes animals, plants and insects, and Naraki, or beings in hell. The Yakshas are not one of the primary forms of existence, rather they are classified as a type of celestial being or guardian. For question number 6, the correct option is A joyous folk dance. The Halisalasya painting found in the Bagh caves depicts a group dance around a musician, showcasing a vibrant secular performance of the era. For question number 7, the correct option is B, 1 and 3 only. This is because the earliest epigraphic use of the place value system is found in the Mankani plates from Gujarat, and similar place values have also been identified in Sanskrit inscriptions in Southeast Asia from the 7th century. Moving to question number 8, the correct option is B, 2 and 3 only. Statement 2 suggests the extent of the scientific knowledge of the Harappans, as seen in the discovered measurement scales, and Statement 3 suggests the emergence of a common property system through the presence of houses with shared amenities. For question number 9, the correct option is C, which states that the Bardoli Satyagraha was a campaign against the enhancement of land revenue, while the Eka movement was a protest against excessive extraction of rents. For question number 10, the correct answer is B, 1, 2 and 3, as all these pieces of information support the statements about irrigation, agricultural tools, and animal power during the Rigvedic period. For question number 11, the correct answer is C, 1 and 2, meaning the Nadi Sukta of the Rigvedic period and the explorations of the Sutlej and Yamuna by Robert Bruce Foote form the basis for the assertion about river systems shifting. For question number 12, the correct answer is C, the Buddha's Mahaparinibbana. In early Buddhist art, symbols like an empty seat, a footprint, or a bodhi tree represented the Buddha's presence or significant events in his life rather than depicting him directly in human form. Moving on to question number 13, the correct option is A, 1 and 2. This is because the ancient name Asikni correctly corresponds to the modern river Chenab and Vitasta correctly matches the modern river Jhelum. Let me look at that again for you. The empty seat in early Buddhist art, especially when placed beneath the Bodhi tree, represents the meditation and enlightenment of the Buddha. So, the correct answer for question number 12 should be A. For question number 14, the correct answer is D, 1, 2 and 3. This is because the Amaravati Stupa was located in the lower Krishna Valley, was next to the Sanchi Stupa in size, and its sculpture style made a lasting impact on South Indian art and was influential in Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia. For question number 15, the correct answer is B, 2 only. This is because Udyanjaral was an early Chera king, not a Chola king as incorrectly matched in the second pair, whereas Senguttuvan and Nedunjallian are properly matched with the Chera and Pandya dynasties respectively. You're absolutely right. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's re-examine question number 15. The pairs listed are Senguttuvan, who was a Chera king, Udyanjaral, who is also historically a Chera king, though matched with Chola here, and Nedunjallian, who was a Pandya king. Since pair number 2 is incorrect, the option that lists that pair is the correct one. For question number 16, the correct answer is B, 1, 2 and 4. This is because Bose failed to win Gandhi's confidence after his re-election, the Congress left was disunited, and socialist leaders like Jayaprakash Narayan preferred Congress unity to supporting Bose. The communists actually did support Bose initially, making that statement incorrect. For question number 17, the correct answer is D, only. This is because the summary revenue settlement of 1856 in Awadh was made assuming the talukdars were outsiders and sought to remove them wherever possible. However, the statements that they were allowed to retain their arms and that they believed in taking revenue directly from peasants by removing talukdars are not correct. For question number 18, the correct answer is D, 1, 2 and 3. This is because the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms retained and extended the principle of separate electorates, which were designed to counter the growing strength of Indian nationalism and also led to various deprived classes rallying around the favors inherent in that system. For question number 19, the correct option is D, Jaipur Atrauli Gharana. Pandit Mallikarjun Mansoor was a legendary Hindustani classical vocalist, renowned for his distinctive style within the Jaipur Atrauli Gharana, known for its complex ragas and unique vocal presentation. For question number 20, the correct option is B, Atharva Veda. The term Kshetra Patni, meaning mistress of the field, is found in the Atharva Veda, reflecting an association of women with agricultural land and society in later Vedic times. For question number 21, the correct answer is A, 1 only. This is because statement I is empirically supported by the data from BER4, showing an emissions decrease, while statement 3 does not contradict the approach of statement I, and both statements don't exclusively establish the premise of long-term sustainability on their own. For question number 22, the correct option is B, 1 and 2. This is because western hollog gibbons have a sanctuary in northeast India, are listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List, and possess specialized brachiation to swing easily between trees. The statement describing them having a heavy build like gorillas is not correct. For question number 27, the correct match is found with code C, which correctly aligns the different projects with their respective countries, such as the Mangdechu hydroelectric project in Bhutan and the restoration of Store Palace in Afghanistan. For question number 23, the correct option is D, which states that statement 3 is the only correct one. This is because mangroves serve as natural bioshields. They absorb wave energy and reduce coastal erosion, which is critical for climate resilience. Furthermore, they provide vital livelihood support to coastal communities through fisheries and timber, while also storing significant amounts of blue carbon. For question number 24, the correct option is D, which states that statement 3 is the only correct one. This is because Vizhinjam International Seaport represents a structural shift by leveraging its natural deep draft and strategic location. It aims to reduce dependence on foreign transshipment ports, enhance revenue retention, and reposition India in regional maritime trade. For question number 25, the correct option is C, which identifies the river as the Sutlej. This is because the Sutlej has an antecedent drainage system, flows through 3 countries, China, India and Pakistan, and originates in the Tibetan Plateau, forming a vital source of irrigation without forming distributaries on the plains. For question number 26, the correct option is C, 2 and 3. This is because while Uttar Pradesh borders the highest number of Indian states, Rajasthan does not have the longest international border, and Sikkim is not the only state that shares its boundary with just one other Indian state. For question number 27, the correct answer is A, 1 only. This is because the arrival of the Amur falcons at Doyang Lake highlights how sustained local conservation efforts contribute to the arrival and protection of these migratory birds. The statements suggesting global tracking success or permanent residency are not correct. For question number 28, the correct option is D, 3 only. This is because the Rain-Fed Area Development Initiative focuses on enhancing productivity and minimizing climatic risks through integrated farming systems rather than encouraging monoculture or increasing rice cultivation in irrigated regions. For question number 29, the correct option is C, which states that both statements are correct. This is because obtaining Oikotech certification allows Indian exporters to compete in high-end markets that prioritize chemical-free products. And it also confirms that Aerie Silk meets international safety and environmental standards, enabling its entry into premium eco-conscious markets. For question number 30, the correct option is B, which indicates that ships from Bahrain and Qatar must cross the Strait of Hormuz to reach the Indian Ocean, while Syria and Egypt do not need to follow this route. For question number 31, the correct option is A, which states that the Tungurahua volcano is situated in Ecuador. Additionally, for question number 32, the correct answer is B, as Madhav National Park was declared a tiger reserve in 2025 and contains the Ramsar site Sakhya Sagar, while not being shared with Rajasthan. For question number 33, the correct option is B, which indicates that the islands experience a humid, tropical, coastal climate and receive rainfall from both the southwest and northeast monsoons. Additionally, for question number 34, the correct answer is B, as both the submergence of parts of the western coast and the presence of residual mountain ranges are associated with the peninsular block of India. For question number 35, the correct option is B, as the statements effectively demonstrate how the success of the Sagarmala program validates earlier strategies and subsequent phases like Sagarmala 2 extend these objectives into a modern innovation framework. For question number 36, the correct option is B, as the foxtail orchid is an epiphytic plant and serves as the state flower for both Arunachal Pradesh and Assam. For question number 37, the correct option is C, which correctly identifies that the Moidams were used as burial grounds for the royals and nobles of the Thai Ahom kingdom. For question number 38, the correct option is B, which details that the four betters proposed by the FAO are better production, better nutrition, a better environment, and a better life. Moving on to question number 39, the correct answer is B, as Lake Turkana, also known as the Jade Sea, is correctly identified as satisfying the criteria of being an important site listed by UNESCO. That would be the Khasi Hills Community RED Plus project, which was the country's first project to be certified under the Plan Vivo standard. For question number 41, the correct option is C, which states that genetic medicines correct faulty genes and use carriers like engineered viruses and lipid nanoparticles. For question number 42, the correct answer is B, as large language models assign probabilities to next possible words and minimize prediction errors through mathematical optimization. For question number 43, the correct choice is C, which confirms that stealth objects have a very small radar cross-section and are coated with radar-absorbing material. For question number 44, the correct answer is B, as black boxes record both cockpit voice and flight data, and their memory units are typically made of stainless steel or titanium. For question number 45, the correct answer is that green hydrogen can be used directly as a fuel for internal combustion, blended with natural gas for heat or power, and used in hydrogen fuel cells to run vehicles. Could you please clarify which specific question you're asking about? That will help. For question number 45, all three statements are correct, so the correct option is the one indicating that all three statements are correct, which corresponds to option C. I understand why you'd say that, but after reviewing the question, all three statements regarding green hydrogen are actually correct. That means the option corresponding to all three statements is the accurate one, which corresponds to option C. For question number 46, could you please provide the statements or the specific topic being discussed? That will help me give you the correct answer. Based on the details you provided, the only correct statement is the first one. The Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Centre, or INSpace, is indeed the autonomous agency established to facilitate the participation of private entities in the space program. However, Agnikul Cosmos launched the world's first flight using a 3D printed engine, but Skyroot Aerospace has not developed liquid fuel for GSLV.
For question number 47, the correct option is B, which states that the second and third statements are correct. This is because individual drones in a swarm communicate with each other, and GPS spoofing is a commonly used technique to counter a swarm attack, but they do not use the terahertz band for communication, as it is still experimental. For question number 48, the correct option is B, which indicates that the second and third statements are correct. This is because the project is funded by the Department of Biotechnology, and its primary aim is to build a catalogue of genetic diversity within the Indian population, rather than being a direct part of the Human Genome Project. For question number 49, the correct option is C, as both statements are correct. The mission aims to develop quantum computers with 50 to 1000 physical qubits, and its implementation involves setting up 4 thematic hubs across academic and national R&D institutes in India. For question number 50, the correct option is B, which indicates that the second and third statements are correct. The mission is led by the Ministry of Earth Sciences, not the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, while Matsya 6000 has been designed for deep sea exploration, and Samudrayan is a project under it. For question number 51, the correct option is C, which indicates that accountability was most strongly demonstrated by Mr. X's actions. By reporting the compromise in quality and halting the contract, he showed his responsibility towards citizen welfare and the integrity of the program. For question number 53, the correct option is B, which indicates that proposing a limited disclosure to an oversight committee is the most appropriate action. This approach addresses the concerns regarding transparency while ensuring that unverified information is handled with due process through proper channels. For question number 52, the correct answer is A, which indicates that statements 1, 3 and 4 would contribute to the resolution process. Acknowledging the cultural concerns and creating a multi-stakeholder dialogue platform, along with conducting an environmental and social impact assessment, are vital for de-escalating the tensions and finding a sustainable solution. For question number 54, the correct option is D, which indicates that only the view of Y is correct. Y is right in pointing out that custom or usage having the force of law is included in the constitutional definition of law under Article 13. So X's refusal to accept this is incorrect. For question number 55, the correct answer is B, which indicates that statement 2 is the only correct statement. It is true that there is no article specifying that the Indian Independence Act and the Government of India Act were repealed by the Constitution, because the repeal was carried out by Article 395 of the Constitution itself. For question number 56, the correct option is A, which indicates that statements 1 and 2 are correct. The Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act was passed in 2016, and the Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan focuses on accessibility across built environment, transport, and information and communication technology. For questions 57 through 60, the correct options are as follows. For question 57, the correct answer is C, as only the statement regarding the reservation of seats for women in panchayats is correct. For question 58, the correct answer is C, because no supplementary question can be asked on an unstarred question. For question 59, the correct answer is B, with the second statement being the only correct one. For question 57, the correct answer is option C. For question 58, the correct answer is option C. Certainly. For question 58, the first statement is incorrect because unstarred questions receive a written answer rather than an oral one. The second statement is also incorrect because starred questions are the ones that require an oral answer. Finally, the third statement is correct because since the reply is provided in a written format, no supplementary or follow-up questions can be asked. For question 59, the correct answer is option D. None of the statements provided in the question are correct regarding the committee's composition, chairmanship, or term length. For question number 60, the correct option is A, which indicates that all three statements are correct. Mission Sudarshan Chakra aims to enhance air defense and aerial offensive capabilities, leverages AI and big data for threat modeling, and aims to cover all public places with a security shield by 2035.